I've been. All the places and spaces 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 I've been.
What's up, family, and welcome to What's Hot at the 10 Spot with DJTen. Before we get into tonight's show, we'd like to first let our listeners affected by the extreme weather we've experienced in the Carolinas and all along the eastern seaboard know that you're in our thoughts and prayers. I understand the damage to homes, businesses, and public infrastructure is expected to total $16 to $20 billion, with the storm having killed at least 34 people and disrupted the lives of many millions more. If you'd like to do something to help, the Salvation Army and the Red Cross are providing emergency assistance to survivors and first responders. I've had the opportunity to work with both of these organizations locally, and they do an amazing job in times of national crisis, like our neighbors are experiencing the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. For the latest updates on their disaster release efforts, or to see how you can help, visit disaster.salvationarmyusa.org or redcross.org. And we've got another great show planned for your listening pleasure this evening. We've got some fresh new cuts from 480 East, Darian Dean, Groove Express, Michonne Young, and Kim Waters. We've got some classic old school grooves from Ronnie Laws and the Whispers, along with a special dedication to our engineer extraordinaire over at WINW 1520 AM. And finally, for all of you Funketeers out there, something new from Bootsy Collins. And as we do every time we get together, we'll talk a little politics and pop culture while we count down what's hot and popping on my playlist this week. And opening up tonight's show is a Canadian musician who first picked up the flute when he was 10 years old. Although he studied with traditional jazz and classical teachers, he loved playing along the R&B and hip-hop stations broadcasting across the border from over in Detroit. Now Amazon's best-selling Canadian solo artist and a star on YouTube, he says he's on a mission to show folks that the flute can be just as soulful and down and dirty as the sax. From his latest single and this week's number 10 cut, here's Jeff Kearns and Axel F.
will sweep the streets. I'll scan the horizon for malcontents and less than heavenly witness.
I'll be three men in gray suits, looking upwards and downwards and all around words. I'll shield and protect you. I'm here to defend you. If you feel like dancing, I'll be by your side with a big band, a fountain, and every drum and moonlight. All will be well. You may do as you please. No harm will befall you while I live and breathe. While I live and breathe.
If it's flowers of the rarest, then I will pluck those blooms. I'll climb where they climb, I will reach where they stretch, and I will fill your room. Oh,
I'll be four girls walking backwards, casting petals at your footsteps as you make your way. I'll be 8 majorettes playing trumpets and scowling, 16 old clergymen barking and howling. If you feel like dancing, I'll be by your side with a big band, a fountain, and every drum and moonlight. All will be well. You may do as you please. No harm will befall you while I live and breathe. While I live and breathe.
That was Skinny Hightower with yet another new jam, this time from his latest project, Retrospect, which just dropped on September 14th on his Trippin' in Rhythm label with this week's number 9 cut, Bongo's Groove. If you haven't heard it before, remember where you heard it first, right here on Radioactive 1 WBOB, where we play more of what you listen to the radio for. Up next is another Canadian group who's releasing their first solo project after being away from the contemporary jazz scene for at least 3 years. With this week's number 8 cut on our hit list, here's 480 East with 4 on the Floor.
East Africa straight up, ain't no chaser. We gon' take it up higher, elevator. If you're looking for party, just be patient. This one about to get started any second.
And if you're trying to find a way, only the lions will come this far. When the lions start to play, all of the jungle will hear you roar. As the music is jamming, the rhythm is sounding, the people are asking for bum bum straight up. This is Jamaica straight up, ain't no chaser. Come fi ram up the dancer, bad behavior. Who know wind up your body and move your waist. DJ ram up the sound and mash the place. And when you're trying to find a way, only the lions it's far. When the lions start to play, as the music is jamming, the rhythm is sounding, the people are asking for bum bum straight up. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the bum 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 bum.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. Sit down, 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 down. And if you're trying to find a way, you find it today. When the lions come to play, it won't be the same. As the music is jamming, the rhythm is slamming, the people are asking for bum bum straight up. This is Africa straight up. This is Jamaica straight up. Straight up, straight up, straight down. This is Africa straight up. Straight up, straight up, straight down. This is Jamaica straight up. Ba-dum-dum-dum-dum. This is Africa straight up. Straight up. Straight up. This is a bum-bum-bum-bum. This is Africa straight up. Straight up, straight up, straight down. This is Jamaica straight up.
Taking us out of that last set, we heard from Darren Dean with this week's number 7 cut, Straight Up, the Root Session, featuring Omar Life-Hook. I'd like to send a special shout out to our Houston area listeners. You've now bumped the Cleveland area to number 3 for geographical regions listening to our show, with our neighbors to the north, Michigan, still leading the pack. And we'd also like to welcome our new listeners. We've got some new folks from Willard, Ohio, Inwood, West Virginia, Anderson, Indiana, Hillsboro, Oregon, Las Cruces, New Mexico, and St. Paul, Minnesota. We really appreciate the response we're getting worldwide, because we are now heard in over 12 countries since we launched this version of our show back in April. For those of you who are new to the show, if you haven't picked up on that vibe already, there's a method to our madness and a message in our music. You're listening to What's Hot at the 10 Spot with DJTen. We'll be back with more conversation, music for grown folks, and this week's countdown after these messages.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Smooth urban jazzer sax superstar Kim Waters enchants us on his newest album, What I Like, on Shanachie Entertainment. Filled with surefire original hits, exciting covers, and reimaginings of songs from Bruno Mars, Maxwell, and the Isley Brothers. This new release in the smoothjazz.com listening loft, and check out Kim's nationwide tour dates at kimwaters.net.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Family, there has been a lot of talk here recently about sexual assault, and rightfully so. I think we've reached a tipping point in our society where sexual exploitation by either sex, men or women, is no longer tolerated. Just the other day I was having breakfast and happened to overhear a conversation with a group sitting across from me. And, woman said that 25 years ago she had a coworker enter her office and expose himself to her. And although she had taken a very cavalier attitude toward it, treating it as if it wasn't a big deal, no pun intended, the fact remains that no one should have to put up with that in the workplace. And even more importantly, no one should ever feel that that kind of behavior is appropriate. So remember, consent. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Years ago, when I first started in radio, we'd get albums from record labels promoting their latest artists' new projects. The album would have the corner cut off the cover and a huge sticker on the front saying "Not for Sale." And since, except for my show, we were a classic rock station, I'd check out these new releases to see if there was anything that I could feature on my program. That's how I came across an LP by a skinny 19-year-old kid with shoulder-length hair named Rogers Nelson, a.k.a. Prince, and an R&B group from Italy that at one time or another had been fronted by American vocalists including Jocelyn Brown and studio musicians such as Doc Powell. Formerly known as Exchange, they've just recently gotten back together and released a new project featuring some of its original members along with remixes of some of their R&B hits from back in the day. With this week's number 6 cut from the new LP, Love for Love, here's Change, featuring none other than Luther Vandross with Searching.
Ooh, searching so long. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, hit the top. What was I doing there, far away from nowhere on my own? I was tired, been awake for some time. Just the light playing tricks with my mind. Was she there in a crowd? Was the music too loud? Was I dreaming? Searching, searching for so long. Searching. Ooh, searching for so long. Searching. I just can't believe it. I sure must be dreaming.
How can I prepare you for how I wanna love you? And I know you've been hurt and pain and love is all the same in your eyes. So baby, take a chance to really let me show you. And if you open up, I'll teach you how to love for life. Cause alone we never win.
But if I love you,
I'll never let you go.
how can I trust you?
Just tell me what you want.
When I need you,
Girl, put your heart in mine. I promise that I'll never let it go.
I don't wanna cry no more.
No, not a single tear.
Cause I've been broken.
But now that I'm here,
Teach me how to love again.
girl, put your heart in mine. I promise that I'll never let it go.
Yeah, I done seen a lot of things. I heard a lot of men claim they gon' love me forever. Tell me now, what makes you different? I gave all I had, all the way down to my last. So boy, I need you right now to show me how to trust my heart over my mind.
Cause alone we never win.
But if I love you,
I'll never let you go.
how can I trust you?
Just tell me what you want.
When I need you,
Girl, put that I'll never let it go.
I don't wanna cry no more.
No, not a single tear.
'Cause I've been broken.
But now that I'm here,
Teach me how to love again.
come put your heart in mine. I promise that I'll never let it go. I never wanna let you go. Nah, baby.
Wanna love you with my heart and soul, but I gotta know. But if I love you,
I'll never let you go.
how can I trust you?
Just tell me what you want.
Darling, I need you.
Go put your heart in mine.
Promise that I'll never let it go. I don't wanna cry no more.
No, not a single tear.
'Cause I've been broken.
Girl, now that I'm here,
That was Groove Express from their latest CD, Amsterdam, with this week's number 5 cut, Oriental Journey. I know it's high school football season in Northeast Ohio, and maybe your favorite team isn't doing as well as you'd like, and you're looking for something else to do in and around the 330. There's still some great concerts and events coming our way over the next few weeks. We've got Justin Timberlake at the Q on October 2nd, the WINW 1520 AM Celebration Party. That's going to be at the Canton Cultural Center for the Arts on October 4th. Genuine will be at Tangiers on October 5th. The Doobie Brothers at Hard Rock Roxino on the 12th. Phil Collins at the Q on the 18th, and Najee at the Tangiers on October 19th. Acoustic Alchemy, they're going to be at KSU on October 21st. Boz Skaggs at the Hard Rock on November 1st. David Sanborn at Tangiers on November 4th. And Peter White and Huge Groove at Tangiers on November 28th. So again, if you're looking for something to do in and around the 330, just log onto our website, Radioactive1WBOB, for tickets and concert information. Now we're stepping outside our regular format just a little for this next cut on my playlist. Normally, the 10 Countdown Jams are recently released tunes, but this next cut was originally released way back in 2003, but re-released in a Best Of CD just a few days ago. From their Sweets Love Song CD, with this week's number 4 cut on, here's The Whispers, and I Want to Know Your Name.
Just to call you on the phone, 'cause you're the kind of girl that I adore, and you're the kind of girl I've been looking for. Please tell me your name. Please tell me your name. Girl, you look so good, and I never felt like this before. 'Cause I never believed in love at first sight, but now I know that it's all right. You tell me your name. Hey, you listen to me. get acquainted right away, right away. I'd like to introduce myself to you. My name is Scotty, and I've been watching you for a long, long time. And as I look at you, I say, I really like the way you move. Yeah, and I also say to myself, you know what, Scotty? I bet she's got the best, truly the best looking feet I've ever seen. Yeah, I really believe that this could be the start of something really beautiful. You know what? I'm no different than nobody else. I like the finer things in life, and that's simply why I'm attracted to a fine lady like you. So you see, all I need to know really is your first name, because if things work out the way I planned, your last name will be mine. Is that really asking too much? body poetry. What you say to me. Don't be so shy, so long. Your mind is in the sky of abstraction. Your eyes say I, but your walk is action, satisfaction. I'm your love translator. I know what you need. My communication line is free. Come talk to me. Body talk to me. Body talk to me. So distant, so mysterious, girl. Don't you know by now what you feel is real? I feel communicating. Every word of love is conversation. Deceiver too. Can't you see how bad I'm hooked on you? Come talk to me. Come on, body talk to me. Ooh, body talk to me. Oh, baby, come on and talk, baby. Express your thoughts.
Throw the laptop aside and call it a night. Don't wanna seem selfish or inside a fight, but I missed you the whole day through. nothing fancy. 'Cause see, I'm just a little bit antsy. Put everything down. 'Cause it's all about me. Now forget about work trouble. No excuses, no rebuttals. For they used to let me explain and they smile. I know what we are used to, but for once let's change what we do. It was hard to see we need to change our right. Whatever happened to those evening talks we had? How I loved hearing about your day. Go to bed, but love won't let me wait. And I appreciate you putting everything down and make it all about me now. No excuses, no rebuttals. No excuses, baby. I never know what we are used to. Time to switch it up. Change our ride. Oh baby, make it all about me. Oh. Make it all about just want a little bit of your time.
Taking us out of that set, we heard from this week's number 3 cut on our hit list. That was Michonne Young from her latest project, Love Life Experiences Volume 2, Driving to Purpose, with It's All About Me. You know, family, we're going to circle back to that conversation we had earlier in the show concerning sexual assault. Not that I think it's going to make any difference, but undoubtedly you've heard by now that Donald Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court has been rocked by accusations of attempted rape back when he was a teenager. Now, let's be clear. It's not just the rape allegations that should concern us about Brett Kavanaugh. There are several other key issues where he has been recorded taking positions as a judge that sought to undermine access to affordable health care. He's shown hostility towards women's reproductive rights as demonstrated by his ruling in a recent high-profile case involving a 17-year-old immigrant woman. In 2 separate cases, he's ruled in favor of states implementing restrictive voting rights laws. He's opposed equal opportunity and affirmative action protection under the law. He's been dismissive of discrimination claims, undermined environmental protection rulings, hostile to workers' rights and the rights of the disabled, and opposed to common sense gun safety laws. And his anti-immigrant views are a perfect fit for Donald Trump's America. And finally, Judge Kavanaugh has expressed extreme and disturbing views about presidential power. In a 2009 Law Review article, Judge Kavanaugh wrote that we should not burden a sitting president with civil suits, criminal investigations, or criminal prosecutions. And the country loses when the president's focus is distracted by the burdens of civil litigation or criminal investigation and possible prosecution. This is particularly troubling because if the Mueller-Russia investigation ultimately ends up in the hands of the Supreme Court, or more broadly, with Trump's fondness for sabotaging laws he doesn't like, he couldn't have picked a better nominee than Brett Kavanaugh. You know, these are just a few of the reasons why civil rights and human rights organizations across the country oppose Supreme Court Justice nominee Brett Kavanaugh. But unfortunately, as I said earlier, I don't think any of this is going to derail Kavanaugh's ascension to the Supreme Court. And finally, nothing, I repeat, nothing could be more disingenuous than Mitch McConnell's push to have a vote on Kavanaugh's selection to the court before the 2018 midterm elections. This is the same Mitch McConnell who kept Justice Scalia's seat open for 422 days until after the 2016 presidential election and threatened to keep it open for 4 more years if Hillary Clinton was elected.
Coming to you from the heart of the 330, you're listening to Radioactive 1, WBOB, the most unique listening experience on the internet. News, conversation, and music for grown folks.
Blue Note at Sea is the jazz event of the season. Sail with Marcus Miller, David Sanborn, Candy Dulfer, Eric Marienthal, Robert Glasper, Josie James, Candace Springs, and many more. You'll experience an incredible variety of concerts, many with these amazing musicians and never-seen-before collaborations. The cruise sails January 26th to February 2nd, 2019 from Fort Lauderdale, Florida on Celebrity Infinity with ports of call in Nassau, Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Key West. The ultimate vacation for jazz fans, Blue Note at Sea is the hippest and coolest jazz program ever offered at sea. Learn more at BlueNoteAtSea.com. Earl Clue's 9th annual Weekend of Jazz at Kiowa Island, South Carolina, November 7th through the 10th, features Chris Bodie, Peebo Bryson and Denise Williams, Ramsey Lewis, Najee, The Rippingtons featuring Russ Freeman, Adam Hawley, and Al Turner. Call 800-654-2924 or visit weekendofjazz.com for more details. Packages include accommodations, tickets, late-night shows, artist experiences, and more. Earl Clue's 9th annual Weekend of Jazz at Kiowa Island is sponsored in part by Hertz, Kiowa Island Real Estate, and SmoothJazz.com Global.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish dad!
Oh, come on! This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The other day I was having a conversation with James Bob, the Son of Ball show, the better the ball show on WINW. He's been engineering our live show on WINW 1520 for the past couple of weeks, and I really appreciate it. And it appears that Brother Ball and I have some similar appreciation for the artist opening up this next set. So we're sending this next one out to you, Brother Ball. Here's Ken Pencil from his Eyes of Wonder CD and One Lane Bridge.
pusher, baby. Yeah. Why you looking like that? Get the monkey off of your back. I got the news great. It's sure enough good to be back. Pusher. Yeah. Something old like pusher. I'm the new pusher. Pusher. Hey, yeah.
Woman, what a sight to behold, to be held in the arms, to see into a soul, a mother's touch, a sister's insight, with a grandmother's wisdom, we'll be alright. Building, raising children, nurturing all, leave it to a woman and it'll never ever fall. Push a man, learn the funk from his mother, then brought it to the street so we can share it with each other.
Why you looking like that? Get the monkey off of your back. I got the news great, the news great. Sure enough good to be back. Yeah, pusher. Yeah, I am your pusher, baby. Like pusher. I'm the new pusher. Pusher. Hey, yeah. I'm out here on these streets, coming up on my sheet, giving you needs. Oh yes indeed, anything but this love breaks. I'm your pusher, don't bother me. Funk you up with funkology. I am your pusher, baby.
These eyes can speak on behalf of the neglected. These missed opportunities and hidden figures that conjure up the essence of this woman. They let you know you just passed the portal, baby. This gateway to this eternal world of existence. That these very eyes that carry a stigmatism. They see your crooked ways of thinking. These promiscuous hips that never lie. This yoni that creates a life beyond measures is a home to a king. Someone that gives you everything you need. That this love, this unconditional love that pours from my spirit is, well, it's for someone who knows how to push it, man. Push it, baby.
Why you looking like that? Get the monkey off of your back. I got the news great, the news great. It's sure enough good to be back. Yeah, pusher. Yeah. Something old like pusher. I am your pusher, baby. Pusher. Pusher. Hey, yeah. I'm out here on these streets, coming up on my sheet, giving you needs. Oh yes indeed, anything but this love breaks. I'm your pusher, don't bother me. Funk you up with funkology. I am your pusher, baby.
My womb, warm, safe and strong, produces sapphires, as ancient as meteors and moors, as metaphysical as the creation of consciousness, and as persecuted as peoples in transgenerational slave ships with chained hips to shackled ankles, debt and regret. My womb is a portal through which I find my peace, from which one day a soul will release that shall depart from the mother's holes to come into the sacred sanctum of the self, the soul that does not know how old it is, until the stars begin to resemble the reflection. My womb wreaks havoc and causes doom. My room is an out-of-sight funkadelic disco room that so many brothers and sisters want the all-access backstage passes to. My womanhood is silenced for no one and nothing, because if I do know one thing, it's that kings would hold no reign if the queens didn't make the game. I'm just saying, my mama, her mama, your mama, put some respect on her name. Push it, baby.
Don't bother me. Funk you up with funkology. I am your pusher, baby.
That last one was for all you Funketeers out there in Radio Land. From his latest LP, Worldwide Funk, That was Bootsella, Bootsy Collins and Pusher Man. An Arizona native, the artist taking the number 2 spot on my hit list this week honed his musical chops through high school in Phoenix, then fine-tuned them in Tucson for 4 more years, earning a jazz studies degree at the highly regarded University of Arizona Fred Fox School of Music. He's recorded and performed with the likes of Jeff Lober, Rick Braun, Mel Brown, and Mindy Abair, and he shared concert billings with Dave Koz, Jay Soto, Greg Karukas, and many others. This is Newman Lyles from his single released just last month titled Real Music.
checking me out. I think I know what you winking about. You with your man, you don't want him to see. It's alright with me. Now I know I drink a little bit much, and you think I'm talking crazy and such. I can't walk straight, but girl, I can see you're alright with me, alright. I see a little something that I like. You looking mighty fine in them skin tights. You know what I mean? It's alright with me. Hold up, I know you got a man, but I'm toe up, and I don't even care if he roll up with something to say. You better tell him he don't want it with me. It's alright, yeah. Body for days. I think the way that you shake it's amazing. I got my keys if you ready to leave. It's alright with me. Now check your man cause he going insane. You wanna know what the hell's my name? Now if he crazy enough to get in my face, it's alright with me. Alright, I see a little something that I like. You're looking mighty fine in them skin tights. You know what I mean? It's alright with me. Hold up, I know you got a man, but I'm toe up, and I don't even care if he roll up with something to say. You better tell me you don't want it with me. Now come on, why don't you test me? If you want me, come and get me. I'll show you who the best be. It's alright with me. I watch you for a long time. I swear you're looking alright. Come closer if you like what you see. It's alright with me. Alright, I see a little something that I like. You're looking mighty fine in them skin tights. You know what I mean? It's alright with me. Hold up, I know you got a man, but I don't even care if he has something to say. You better tell him you don't want it with me. It's alright. All my niggas in the front say, all my niggas in the back say, oh, yeah. All my niggas in the front say, all my peoples in the back say, hey, yeah,
Ladies and gents, turn up your sound system to the sound of Carlos Santana in the GMB, Ghetto and Blues from the refugee camp.
Maria, Maria, she remind me of a West Side Story.
Yo, Maria.
Growing up in Spanish Harlem, she living a life just like a movie star.
Harlem. She living the life just like a movie star. Oh, Maria, Maria. She found the love in East LA. I said it 2000 the guitar, yeah. Play by Carlos Santana.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
I said I'm not a bella, no for notice. The streets are getting hotter. There is no water to put out the fire. Me contar esperanza. See me and Maria on the corner, thinking of ways to make it better. Then I look up in the sky, hoping the days of paradise.
North side. South side.
Maria, you know you're my lover. When the wind blows, I can feel you through the weather. And even when we are apart, it still feels like we're together. My angel, yeah. She reminds me of the West Side Story. Growing up in Spanish Harlem. She living the life just like a movie star.
Put 'em up, y'all. Carlos Santana with the refugee camp. Wyclef. Jerry Wonder. This is Santana. G&B. Yo, Carlos, man, you making that guitar cry. Put 'em up, y'all. Put 'em up, y'all. Put 'em up for Carlos Santana in the house tonight. Yeah. I know you're feeling this. At last, back to some real music again. Would you put your hands together for Carlos Santana and product from the refugee camp? Uno, dos, tres. Good job. Woodstock.
Taking us out of the set, we heard from Blair Bryant with one of my favorite cuts for 2018. The tune was entitled Sun Chaser. You're listening to What's Hot at the 10 Spot, where we're counting down what's hot and popping on my playlist this week. I invite you to join me every Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 with the Morning Mix, an eclectic mix of funky jazz, old school R&B, and spoken word, guaranteed to get your weekday started off right. And while you're in the neighborhood, you might just want to hang around, because it's an R&B kind of afternoon from noon to 4 with nothing but classic R&B, old school funk, neo-soul, and hip-hop to get you through the day. And finally, you can mellow out with jazz at the corner of 10th and J Street every Monday through Thursday from 7 to midnight for the best in contemporary jazz and funky jazz fusion. Only on Radioactive 1 WBOB, where we play more of what you listen to the radio for. We'll be back to unveil the number one cut on my playlist this week after these messages.
I heard on the news about that 5-year-old who found his uncle's gun. The kid didn't know it was loaded.
I heard on the news about that 14-year-old girl who was bullied online for like a year. She couldn't take it anymore, so she got her dad's gun from his nightstand.
I heard on the news about that guy who broke into someone's house, stole a gun from the hall closet.
He accidentally shot his cousin in the head.
She killed herself.
And later, killed the owner of the store he was trying to rob.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearms storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
Portrait of Adoration, where smooth meets soul and jazz meets R&B. From prolific composer, multi-instrumentalist, and arranger, Terrence Richburg. Robust East Coast jazz, infused with smooth soul.
And I cannot deny it, my perfect love.
Discover this musician's musician and producer's producer in the Listening Loft and at TerrenceRichburg.com.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
The musician taking the top spot on my hit list this week has made a career of writing timeless anthems with insatiable grooves, undeniable hooks, and memorable melodies that combine the best of jazz, R&B, funk, and soul. His unique playing style has catapulted him to the top of the charts time and time again and has made him one of the biggest selling saxophone artists to date. Jazz Time magazine has declared him one of the planet's best saxophone players. From his most recent project, What I Like, which just hit the shelves a few days ago, here's Kim Waters with Fire and Spice. You've been listening to What's Hot at the 10 Spot with DJTen. I want to thank you for taking this musical journey with us. We hope that you've enjoyed hanging out with us as much as we've enjoyed hanging out with you. Be sure to join us next week for more music and conversation for grown folks right here on Radioactive 1 WBOB. Your place in cyberspace for the most unique listening experience on the internet. And like we say every week, good friends don't say goodbye. They simply say, see you soon. So in the meantime, in between time, this is DJ10, and we'll see you soon.